Today I decided to find a Starbucks so I could use their high-speed internet to get caught up on some work and upload my latest videos. Unfortunately, the internet at the house in Branson where my family is staying this week does not have reliable service, and it is nearly impossible to upload the large files that make up my YouTube videos. So, while my parents, sisters, and brothers-in-law took my nieces and nephew to Silver Dollar City for the day, I set out to nearby Springfield, Missouri to work at a Starbucks. There are several satellite Starbucks locations in Branson, but they are all in grocery stores. The closest standalone restaurant, with seating, is about 40 minutes away in Springfield. Unfortunately, when I got there, the sign on the door said that indoor seating was closed due to the COVID resurgence in the area. I am fully vaccinated, by the way, which makes me comfortable with getting out in public. I called another Starbucks nearby, but their indoor seating was also closed. I assumed that all locations in the area would be the same, so I decided to change my plans for the day. Instead of sitting inside and working, I headed out to spend several hours exploring rural Missouri. I randomly chose a road and headed east. Eventually, I ended up in Mansfield. As I was exploring the area, I found a turnoff that was near some railroad tracks. It was a scenic area, so I decided to practice shooting some video with my DJI Mavic Mini Video Drone. As I was shooting, I heard the railroad tracks begin to make some strange noises. Shortly after, a train came around the corner, and here is the video that I shot as the train passed by. After that exciting encounter, I got back into my car to search for some peaceful footage in the Missouri countryside. After driving for a while, I came to a point where a creek crossed the highway that I was on. It was Highway A, just north of Diggins, Missouri, near Amish Loop Road. I decided to stop at this point and experiment with getting some aerial footage of the countryside. The first thing that I did was launch my drone and fly over to the creek. I found some people fishing on the other side of the bridge, and one person had on a diving mask and was looking under the water. I assumed that he was looking for fish, so I decided to fly the drone closer to the surface of the water to find out if I could see anything. Sure enough, there were definitely fish in this creek. As you can see, there are quite a few, and they differ in size and types. The high-resolution camera on my drone also caught sight of a frog that was sunbathing on the shore of the creek. It's hard to see, but we can see it if we zoom in. After looking at the wildlife in the area around the creek, I decided to get some high-altitude views of the surrounding Missouri countryside. Here is some footage as the drone flies over nearby farms. After about a half hour of flying, I decided to bring the drone back to the car so I could head on. Instead of using the automatic return to home landing function, which I showed with the help of my nieces and nephew in my video on day 8 of the cross-country trip, I decided instead to fly the drone in manually and try landing it on the flat surface of the roof of my car. Using the video feed from the drone, which I could see on the controller, I guided it in for a safe touchdown and landing. Feeling like I had gotten some good flight practice in for the day, I decided to head back to Branson. However, I needed to find a grocery store on the way back so I could buy some Diet Coke. As you know, that is one of my favorite sources of caffeine, and over the last few days in Branson, I have drank most of the Diet Coke that my sister brought for us. So, I looked on Google and found a price cutter grocery store in the nearby town of Seymour. Seymour is a town with a population of only 2,022 people, and this is their downtown. I like small towns like this. I grew up in Kansas where there is a lot more rural than urban, so I am very familiar with and comfortable in small towns like this. They are great places where everyone waves at you when you drive by, and they are time capsules of the past with a lot of historic integrity. I eventually found the Price Cutters grocery store, which was just off of the main square in downtown Seymour on Market Street. After picking up some Diet Coke, I began the drive back to Branson. On the way out of town, I noticed a horse and buggy at the local bank, which probably isn't an unusual sight in the area since there is a large Amish population. In fact, not long after getting on the highway, I came across a couple on another horse and buggy driving along the side of the road. Well, this is probably a good place to stop my video for today. As always, thank you for going on this journey with me, and I will see you in the next video.